how big is this creator economy, specifically in the Middle East? Is there still money to be made in content creation?
I feel really sorry for those who have a huge audience and they're not monetizing their channels.
What is more important, subscriber or views?
Subscribers is just a number.
In God we trust. For everything else, I believe in data. What is this mindset of profit?
Working on their business rather than being in their business.
Does success come without sacrifices? What are the things you struggle with? Where do you find your peace? Do you believe in unconditional love?
Everything in life has a condition.
Hello and welcome to today's episode. If you are a content creator, this episode is exactly what you want to hear in this part of your journey. Whether you are starting your journey, in the middle of your journey, or you already have 1 million plus subscribers with you on any platform, today's episode is the value you want to deliver to your target audience. I am simply Pankaj, and today as our guest we have Hani Masgidi. An amazing personality. A lot has been said about him in the media, in the news, but today what we are going to discover is a lot more than how the world knows Hani Masgidi. Let's welcome our guest today. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillah.
Who is Hani?
Hani, all right. Hani is a business coach, well known for being supportive for entrepreneurs and small and medium businesses, help them double their profit using a simple, well-structured approach. By using some basic marketing and sales technique, where I bring all my rich experience in different industries, package it together, putting it into their exposure to help them achieve their goals by looking at their businesses from a helicopter view, rather just being within their business. So working on their business rather than being in their business.
Yeah, perfect. What a beautiful line. Working on their business rather than in their business. So you are basically a catalyst who will help their business grow faster.
Yes.
So when did you realize that you are made for this job?
Well, I've been a consultant for a long time. I've been in the business for most of my clients. Till the pandemic hit, which was a turning point where I've seen a lot of businesses panicking and pulling back.
Yes.
And this is where I found my coaching skills coming into this picture and contributed to a lot of businesses.
You shared a very important word, mindset.
Exactly.
What is this mindset of profit?
Anything in life needs to be measurable in order to develop it. And being in a business, I'd like to quote a word for Sheikh Muhammad bin Rashid in one of his books.
Beautiful.
Imagine being in a business without setting a KPIs and looking at something that is tangible, you can measure. If you don't have that mindset of measuring things to improve them, whether in your personal life or your business, I don't think you will be able to achieve your goals. So any client that I work with, any of my students, I start with their mindset, because mindset will tell me exactly where are they heading. I need to set it right with them, helping them actually set it right and move forward towards their goal.
Since we are speaking of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, please look into the camera. Assume that he is listening to you right now. He is watching this podcast. What is the message in Arabic or in English which you would like to share with him? At the count of 3, you can look into the camera and begin.
Sure. طويل العمر كنت ما زلت وإن شاء الله طول العمر لك بالتمي قائد وانسبايرنج بيرسوناليتي، شخصية ملهمة لكثير من الشباب وأصحاب الأعمال نحو النجاح. فشكرا لله أولا لوجودك في حياتنا وفي حياة أمتنا العربية بشكل عام، وشكرا لكل ما تنجزه وتقدمه لشعبك وللأمة العربية بشكل عام. شكر جزيل لك. In English, I would say it, Your Highness, thank you so much for being in our life, starting with thanking God for giving us such a privilege to have you as the leader here in UAE and among the whole Middle East, and the contribution you're helping entrepreneurs and business owners to achieve their goals and dreams. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being you. When was the first time you tasted success in your career as a business coach?
One of my close friend and client at that time, I was a consultant with them. They were banking and they felt that the only way to run their show was only offline. And they've realized that applying few techniques, that the pandemic and the lockdown was an opportunity for them. And that success, and I've seen it within their eyes, gave me that momentum. Since then, I've stopped completely my offline consultancy and focused only on my online business coaching mainly.
It's always said that your clients sometimes act as your babies, right? You see a client grow, you see a career grow, and you see your suggestions being implemented the right way they were supposed to be, and sometimes they surprise you with the result. Has there been any such case in your life?
Yes. Honestly speaking, with one of the clients who were into manufacturing, they were selling a product worth 1.2 million dirham.
Okay.
And at that time, one of the marketing methods being introduced to the market, used for a different industry completely.
Yeah.
I've decided to take that challenge and applying it for them. And surprisingly enough, they were bombarded with 7 to 10 leads a month for such a product. And here, when we say a lead for that type of product, they are very warm leads.
Yeah, very qualified.
Exactly, and which a single deal can cover for my whole cost for the full year. That was one of the shocking outputs to have, and definitely I took it as a success story to apply it in different industries.
So Hani, if there is an entrepreneur looking at this show right now and listening to you, what would you recommend to them?
I would suggest sticking into the main 5 pillars of succeed in your business. It starts with strategy, which includes your mindset. There are plenty of ways of doing things. One of my earlier mentors still stated it, still remember a word where he said, Hani, there's no wrong or right way of doing business. There are different ways of doing business. So if you're an entrepreneur, you need to be flexible enough to look at the things from different angles. So it starts with your strategy, then build the culture around you, the people that resonate with your atmosphere, with your strategy. Moving forward, you look at your operation. Make sure that you standardize it. Business should not be fully dependent on a person.
Yeah.
So you need to automate everything. Make sure that you have the right SOPs in place. Moving forward, which is the core of your business, look at your revenue streams. And this is where it comes into the marketing and sales.
Yeah.
Structure them well. Finally, the efficiency of executing all the above. So if we're going to summarize it, it's summarized within SCORE. S for strategy, C for culture, O for your operation, R for your revenue, and finally the efficiency towards delivering the above.
How important it is to find a qualified lead?
It starts with understanding your ideal client, which I like to call it an avatar.
Yeah.
Have one person in mind.
Yeah.
And target that person.
Okay.
That will ease your life. The rest is just the techniques. No matter what medium you're using, what technique, what marketing material you'll be using. Understanding your ideal client and your avatar, having a clear picture of whom do you want to work with.
Okay.
The rest is easy. You can use plenty of techniques, especially with the presence of social media and AI nowadays. It's easy to find it. But it's the core of any business to have a steady flow of leads coming in, no matter what business you're in. What is the richest bookshop out there. Library. What is the richest library in world?
It's YouTube.
Nope.
It's experience, stories.
It's the graveyard.
It's a graveyard.
Yes. Where are millions and millions of people
Yeah.
who went into that library with a huge knowledge which people can really benefit from it nowadays. Now this is one of my main mission, is to help 1 million person
Yeah.
expose their knowledge to the world
Yeah.
and leave a heritage.
How many countries have your videos traveled to?
Looking at my analytics,
Yes.
It's almost all the world.
Yeah. Are you an analytics person? You love data?
Yes, being an engineer,
Yeah.
I love numbers, I love graphs, I love to dig down into the analysis to understand where I'm standing, and I look at them as a story.
Amazing.
And they're a good storytellers, by the way.
Yeah. So I read somewhere where it said, in God we trust, for everything else I believe in data. Do you believe in data?
Yes, 100%. Because data never lies to you.
Yeah.
It reflects, I believe you come from the same
Yeah, true.
background as mine. They tell you exactly what is happening, whether it's an ugly or a good
Picture. coming
picture.
up. Yeah. When was the first time you were exposed to internet? At what age?
Well, actually, the moment that the internet tapped into UAE back in you start exposing my age now. 1996, I was
Okay.
one of the first dial-up subscribers.
Wow.
And I was a programmer at that time itself, which helped me to penetrate and get into the internet faster and faster.
You work as a content creator as well,
Yes.
but you are a passive content creator.
Yeah.
Can you explain this term?
Excellent question. Actually, it's an industry.
Yeah.
All right, and in every industry there are ways to evolve and to grow. If we're gonna stick to our 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
it's gonna be difficult for us to leverage the assets and the opportunities that we have. So YouTube is one of the content creation is one of the options, which you can even, it's a personal oriented content. You still can leverage that. There are plenty of ways. One of them is having a faceless channel. You don't have to be present there. You can go through the whole process, outsource it, and leverage someone else and some other tools
Yeah.
to deliver that results for you.
How big is this creator economy, specifically in the Middle East, in terms of numbers?
Now, in Middle East, it's not yet evolving well. It's not exposed. They have the mindset of, in order for me to be in YouTube or in any of the social media as an influencer, I have to create videos myself.
Yeah.
However, in Western world, especially States, it's evolving. I don't have exact number, but it's one of the biggest
Is it
portion
in
of the
millions or
content.
billions?
No, billions.
Billions
We're
with a B.
talking B, exactly. And AI made it faster,
Okay.
and with the quality that we've seen recently, even YouTube themselves,
Yeah.
they start adopting it.
Tell me more about how YouTube and Google have helped you become a better person.
As I said, one of my main mission in this world is to teach 1 million
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
And being on YouTube or utilizing YouTube and Google, which is the biggest which are the biggest two search engine, it eased my life in passing my message and approach my targeted audience. Now, being a sister companies, it's much better for me because they support each other.
Yeah.
They give you a free traffic. You don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So if you know their game, you know their algorithm, give them what they love, and you will be their favorite.
Is there still money to be made in content creation, or are we already 20 years late?
I mean, the best time to start on YouTube, let's talk about YouTube at the first place, was back in 2005. The second best time to start is today.
Why do you say that?
Because no matter what happened, 10 days from now, you will regret that you didn't start 10 days back. You would have learned a lot in these 10 days
Yeah.
that could give you the momentum to grow. So whoever is there, they have to start.
Lot of people are creating content, but only 2% of them have monetized content. What is the reason people drop the ball so soon?
There is a role I love to use, which is the role of 21 and the role of 37.
Okay.
If you're able to produce 21 videos,
Okay.
you're considered to be out of 1% of people who gonna make it.
21 videos,
Yes,
irrespective of the length of the video.
yes, no matter what. Now, in order for you to really evolve and grow,
Mhm.
if you make it to the 37,
37 videos.
exactly, you'll
Okay.
be 1 out of 100% of those who made it at the first
Wow.
portion. So, if I'm gonna give an advice to anybody, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
One day you're gonna hit.
Yeah. Why 21 videos?
Because this is the time where you get it as a habit.
Yeah.
Adopting a new habit, you need to do it 21.
21
times.
days. Is it important to have a niche?
Yes.
Why?
Similar to the business where I said you need to understand your avatar. It's exactly the same. You need to attract like-minded people to your channel, to your content. You need to speak to them. Speaking to a single person, it's much easier, like we are having the conversation right
Yeah.
now. But talking in the public with hundreds and millions of people, nobody gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
And you would be confused yourself. Whom are you?
So how do I find my niche?
Interesting question. 3 steps. 1, look at yourself, inside, deep inside. What are you passionate about? What do you like the most? Because that will give you the momentum to keep you going, because you're enjoying what you're doing.
I love eating samosas, let's say.
So, amazing, amazing niche.
Yeah.
So let's take the sambusa as one of their. So you're passionate about sambusa. You will be targeting. What is your main goal? Making money. So look at people who are in the industry of sambusa, making sambusa, for example, who can afford paying you money.
Yeah.
And look, finally, the 3rd step. What can you add as a value to them?
Okay.
And that triangle that comes out of these 3 circles is your niche.
So just summarize this for me apart from the samosa discussion.
Passion, targeted audience who can pay you, and your deliverables to them that you really can add a value. That is your niche.
So you find your niche, you make 21 videos,
Move forward, keep doing it
and then call Hani.
whenever you need.
A lot of people talk about financial independence. You believe you are financially independent. This is what you told me the first time.
Yes.
What is the secret that you found at an early age on how to be financially independent?
Looking at having a diversified source of income is one of the key. And in today's era, it's very simple. We've seen kids making millions
Yeah.
using their channels, their online stores.
Mm.
So having that mindset from an early age can help you with that.
Is there any calculation for this? That today you are earning, let's say, $10,000. What is your secret to become, what is that figure, the golden number that you need to become financially independent?
Well, Robert Kiyosaki says, stated right, as long as your passive income cover your expenses,
Yeah.
you're a wealthy person. As long as you don't have to work for that part of money or get involved, spend time on it, and it comes and it covers all your expenses, you're a wealthy person.
Hani, if there is somebody listening to you right now and wants to know which are the top 3 books they should read, which are those 3 books?
7 Habits of Successful People, and definitely Rich Dad Poor Dad
Okay.
for Robert Kiyosaki. and atomic mindset.
Atomic Habits.
Habits
Yeah, yeah,
to set your mindset correctly.
yeah, yeah.
These are the 3 books I would have started with.
Okay.
I mean, amazing.
A lot of content creators who start at an early age, I think they end up losing on their childhood, specifically kids. You see a lot of kids doing a lot of dances, acting, whatever, all this stuff on YouTube. What do you want to advise to their parents?
Well, what is childhood? You said that they're missing their childhood.
Yeah.
This is their childhood. This is what they have decided.
Being in front of the
Being in
camera,
front of the camera,
struggling
they
to
feel-
get likes and follows and comments. Is this childhood?
You're comparing it to what? To our childhood?
Yes.
It's different. We never had the YouTube in that time. We never had the TikTok, right?
Yeah.
This is the language they're speaking now.
Hmm.
This is their childhood. If this is their only way of communicating in their community, this is their life.
Their childhood is looking into the screen.
Well, they need to disconnect from that. They need
Yeah.
to live their life. But if they have chosen to be in front of the camera,
Yeah.
okay, it's their right, as long as they're having a very good supervision from their parents, that they're not away from the real life.
We have spoken about your success till now. What are the things you struggle with?
My biggest struggle is getting closer and closer to the people who really needs me.
Hmm.
I mean,
Find
no matter-
expanding your reach.
Not the expansion, because it's my core
Yeah.
activity. It's having those audience go to the second level,
Yeah.
take their second step. I don't
Mm.
want them to end just by consuming the content that I produce or the message I send.
Yeah.
I want them to take it beyond that. And this is where I try to deliver systems rather than only messages.
Yeah.
Something that they can take with them, apply it in their day-to-day activities. I want them to cross that 21 days of habit.
Yeah. I am a student of your masterclass. After I first met you, you spoke to me about the masterclass. We enrolled in that. It was a long journey where you made us do a lot of tasks. How important it is for any masterclass coach to have weekly follow-ups?
Well, in order for the coach to ensure the main objective of any master class is the deliverables of the students.
Yeah.
In order to ensure that, you need to be there for them. Being there with them. I mean, you can watch my videos, you can
Yeah.
follow the instructions, but being there for them at least once a week
Yeah.
will empower them to the next step.
How important is praying to you?
It's a part of my mindset.
Yeah.
I have, I believe that I'm living for a purpose. It's giving me that purpose.
Yeah.
If I don't have that spiritual thinking, I mean, being even a customer experience expert, the highest degree of impact on business is being into a spiritual level.
Yeah.
Imagine on your personal level,
Hmm.
it has a huge impact. It gives you a reason to live, to do what you're doing.
From passion to persistence to prayers, which is one part in life which you think, if I had 1 hour extra every day, I would love to do this thing more?
I merge them, the 3 of them, in one.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at what I'm doing with passion,
Yeah.
doing what I'm doing, I believe that I'll be credited
Yeah.
for it in the second life. Nothing like it.
A lot of people whom I have spoken with, they believe karma is a word of Hinduism as a religion. And now I have somebody who follows Islam who's talking to me about karma.
The understanding, the way that you look at it, it's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, giving the spiritual test
Yeah.
to anything and everything that you do,
Yeah.
it empowers you. It gives you a reason to do what you're doing,
Yeah.
and gives you the passion to execute and achieve the results you're
Yeah.
trying to achieve. So whether, no matter what religions you're in,
They all preach the same thing: love,
Exactly.
harmony, peace. Be happy with what you are.
What you do,
Yeah, exactly.
execute.
Exactly. Honey, more and more people are getting into content creation. Why is it not for everyone?
Well, it is for everyone, or at least the way that it is. I mean, you look at it, it looks like for everyone. But trust me, Pankaj, unless you have a valuable message, you're not going to sustain. People will not accept you. You won't cross that 21 days if you don't have that passion and that real message that you want to pass to the world. And in today's era, the way that we're living, whatever you're going to put out there, I mean, even if you get like 1,000 views,
Yeah.
looking at our days, the whole population of a single school was 1,000 students.
Students, yeah.
So imagine that you're standing up in front of those 1,000 students, and 1,000 students have listened to you. This is how powerful is the content creation on social media nowadays, the digital. So whether will you sustain or not, you'll be kicked out automatically from that system if you don't have a solid and true message to pass.
What travels faster, value or views?
Values.
Value. The value that a person gets from a particular video, that will travel faster organically.
Organically, yes. Unless this is, talking about the algorithm, the previous question you've asked me, this is one of the main criteria for any video or content to thrive.
Yeah.
Is the engagement. So if you don't have value in that content, social media platform itself and YouTube will not promote those videos or content.
What is more important, subscriber or views?
Views.
Why?
Because subscribers is just a number.
It is just an
Nothing.
assured audience.
That's it.
Yeah.
Even nowadays, it's no longer assured. I mean,
Yeah.
looking at all the social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, they're not going to promote your content to your own subscribers and followers
Yeah.
unless you promote them or something. But the views, it tells you exactly, especially by looking at the analytics, if you
Yeah.
have the right audience, you passed your message to the right avatar or not. I always tell my students, look at the demography
Yeah.
of your audience on YouTube. And if you have the right audience, so you succeeded in your mission. No matter how many subscribers you have, you don't need that huge number of subscribers to impact people's life. You need the number of the right audience from the right place, from the right demography, watching your videos and listen to your message.
So if there are 2 or 3 parameters somebody who's new to this YouTube algorithm and numbers, what are the 2-3 parameters they should be looking at very seriously?
Two main factors: click-through rate,
Okay.
how attractive is the way that you put out your content, and the engagement within your content. And this is where the value of your content needs to come into the pictures. You create your content in the right way that engage with your audience.
But is it right to assume that if you have to go into content creation, you need a large team to start content creation? You can't do it alone. Can you do it alone?
Yes, definitely. We've
How?
seen many YouTubers thriving and growing using their mobiles only.
And the
Or a
mobiles are
simple
high
camera.
definition nowadays.
Exactly. So it's a matter of just the content, not the medium or the tools that you're using. It's very simple nowadays.
Click-through rate is really important, and thumbnails are the key to that, correct?
Yes.
So what is the secret sauce for an amazing thumbnail?
Excellent question. Well, I believe in a way, I call it the triangle theory,
Okay.
where you have 3 main elements: the main object, and a teaser text should
Okay.
not be more than 3 to 5 words, and a contrasted background.
A contrasting background.
Exactly.
Okay.
As long as you have the triangle filled correctly and makes sense to your ideal client, they're gonna click on your thumbnail.
What's an ideal click-through rate? What is a good click-through rate?
If you should target at least 7 to 10%.
Okay.
7 is good, If you hit 10 and above,
You're amazing.
you're amazing.
Okay.
And if you have a watch time that is more than 35%, trust me, your video going to be trending in your niche.
I know a lot of content creators also who started their journey a couple of years back. They are consistent, they're doing all the right things, but they're still not getting those views, those followers that they're looking at, and they want to drop the ball. What would be your message to these people?
Go back at whatever you've created, revisit,
Hmm.
looking at these two factors, enhance them, and never, ever, ever give up,
Yeah.
especially if you have a message to pass.
At what time should a person go and re-evaluate what is their niche?
I would recommend to revisit your niche initially every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Once the ball starts rolling and you feel that you have a very good engagement from your audience, then stick to it at least till you hit a 1 million subscribers.
1 million subscribers is the benchmark which you should have.
Exactly. Then you can talk in anything and everything.
Yeah. So you spoke about a very interesting platform, and in our last meeting we met somebody from that organization as well. We knew there is Google, there is YouTube, that's one collaboration. There is Threads, there is Instagram, there is Facebook, which is Meta, which is another platform altogether.
Exactly.
And now, interestingly, LinkedIn has a videos tab. What
Yes.
does that mean?
Well, it means that Microsoft, who is the owner of LinkedIn, trying to get into the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're focusing on the video content. And they're trying to push it, and it's a golden mine as if you're talking now, because it has a huge opportunity on LinkedIn. And they're trying to digest and understand how
It's still early days for
early
LinkedIn.
them.
It
So
is still
it's,
not a monetized platform.
But it is a very good opportunity for the content creator to be exposed and to grow their audience.
How important is it for a brand to have their CEO with a strong online presence?
We've seen it with many brands out there. When the CEO or the owner or founder of that brand is on social media,
Yeah.
it gives a huge weightage for that brand.
Hmm.
And we see that people trust businesses doing businesses with those brands who are closer with their symbol, which is the CEO or the founder on the social media. Looking at Tesla, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at their social media platform comparing to
The nearest competitor they have.
competitor,
Yeah.
completely different.
It's miles ahead. Yeah.
Exactly.
In the Middle East, what content works better? Is it in Arabic or in English?
As I said, Pankaj, look at your avatar.
Yeah.
As a part of the exercise of finding your avatar is the language that they're speaking. So pick that and you just go. Everything gonna work.
The most watched podcast episode globally, which is a Guinness Book World Record as well, is from a Middle East channel, a podcast show called Tamania.
Tamania is one of the successful podcasts. Started in Saudi Arabia by a group of young Saudis, and they were really passionate about it. That's why we see the podcast concept have started and evolved well in Saudi Arabia comparing to the other countries in the Middle East. And they got a lot of investors jumping in when they saw the output out of it. And I believe they have a couple of episodes that really hit hundreds of millions of views so far.
So, Hani, what's your take on AI overtaking the human touch, the emotion part in content creation?
I don't believe that AI would ever overtake any human activity unless you allow them to. It's a tool, it's a personal assistant that can give you whatever you train them on. So you better train them the right way. Give them the value, let them rephrase the values that you want to present, and use them towards that. Use them within that framework.
How is Canva or a tool like Canva not replacing the graphic designers?
Well, the smart graphic designers will utilize Canva to speed their progress. This
Okay.
is how I look at it.
What is the ideal duration for any long form video?
8 minutes plus. This is the decision where YouTube have looked at it actually.
Okay.
The longer the better, but 8 minutes plus should be fit to be considered an ideal type of content. I think most of the people can deliver their message within this 8 to 10 minutes video.
Okay. What is more difficult to crack, the long form content or the short form content?
The long one.
And why is it so difficult?
Because in order, especially in today's life that we're used to, and with the presence of the short content,
Yeah.
it's really challenging to maintain the engagement within the long-term form videos.
The attention span of the people is decreasing.
It's decreasing,
Yeah.
which is make it difficult to maintain it. And
But
the main objective of the long form is to keep them watching your content.
But interestingly, the reels initially they started with 30 seconds and now they've moved to 60 and 90
90
seconds.
seconds, yes.
Right. What is the reason?
Because that is giving them a more leverage of their platform to contain and maintain the viewer within their platform. So it's working towards them, the platform, to serve their algorithm and the main purpose of their presence, which is advertising.
We see a lot of content creators get into entrepreneurship, right?
Yes.
To increase their multiple revenue streams.
Yes.
Do you think this is going to pick up far more aggressively as a trend in 2025?
Well, it has to be. I mean, I feel really sorry for those who have a huge audience and a big number of views and they're not monetizing their channels.
Yeah.
For example, looking at YouTube channels, I can analyze some of the channels where they have only one stream of income, which is YouTube ads.
Yeah.
It should never ever exceed 10% of their revenue or opportunities available for them. And I believe I've shared with you the type of streams they can have within their YouTube channel. Monetizing your channel using an affiliate can be one stream of income. Exposing your courses and online training is one option. Sponsorship can be an easy source of income, plus your ads from AdSense.
Hani, let's talk of the lifetime of a content creator. The first goal being million subscribers. If somebody started this journey in 2009, they would take 11 years on an average to achieve that million subscribers in the long form content. Today, it is possible in a far more faster time, in a far more quicker time. What do you think is the reason?
Well, actually, I don't go with that saying. I mean, it's the other way around.
Okay.
I still remember when YouTube been there, we've seen just kept subscribing to any channel,
Yeah.
trying to expose what is coming next.
Yes.
Same goes with all other platforms. Look at the TikTok. I've seen content creators touch the million subscriber in months.
Yes.
Because the platform is still new and people are exposed to it. The more mature the platform becomes, the more experience the users start to have with them, the more difficult to expose. Yes, there are content creators who just start their channel and the number of their subscribers flies because of their niche and the content that they did. The more wider niche you have, when looking at, as you said, how to tie a tie,
Yeah.
it goes to a huge audience, almost all the men in the world. Comparing to someone who's talking about cybersecurity,
Yeah.
you will hardly find 10,000 people in UAE who are concerned about that.
Yeah.
So if your market is UAE. But it depends on your niche and audience interest. Definitely taking the quality of your content is superb.
Good question you brought this up actually. How important is it to have a good studio quality content over here?
As I said initially, you can start using your mobile.
Yeah.
It's fine. People will resonate to that. But if you're handling a topic that tailor or designed for a certain type of audience who need the right setup. You need to deliver with that. You need, the main three components for any good video is lighting, the audio, and the content.
And the content, the story behind
The story behind it.
So Hani, we heard about a new trend which is coming very fast, which is called user generated content. I'm shopping in Dubai Mall. I shop at Kolhan. I get an amazing pair of shoe. I want to talk about that shoe only because it gives me 25% off in the next purchase that I have. What is the future of such trends? What is another trend which is catching up to trends like UGC?
Well, UGC been there from day one. I mean, with the start of the social media and the digital content, especially the videos, it's been always there. There were brands ahead of the curve compared to their competition, utilizing that type of content. And they will continue to be there. It's a matter of just how creative you become in crafting and packaging these tools. I've seen a lot of platforms now aggregating all these users who are good in content creation and offer them as a packages to the brands.
From a traditional family looking at a doctor and an engineer to tell to your father, I want to be a content creator. What was his reaction?
A lot of my family members actually couldn't digest it initially. I mean, for them it's something new.
Yeah.
They thought it's a pop. I mean, it's gonna flow at any minute.
Yeah.
But it proves to them, and the entire world has proven to them that it's there to sustain and to grow.
Hani, do you watch movies?
Yes, I do.
If there was a movie or web series made on your life, what would it be called?
Interesting question. I would think of something to do with my coaching business. I mean, maybe Coach of the Thrones.
Coach of the Thrones from Game of Thrones?
Exactly. I like that series a lot.
A lot of people say that the journey is more enjoyable than the final milestone.
Yes.
Your final milestone is to impact 1 million lives positively.
Yes.
The journey has been amazing. Assume for a second if this is day 0 where you have impacted 1 million lives in the world. On day 1, what is Hani thinking as the next goal?
I would be 10x that number.
10 million lives.
Not in numbers, maybe in the impact, the type of impact that I would leave, the type of deliverables. But it's not going to be my final destination. As you said, the real fun is in the journey itself, rather than the destination.
Where do you find your peace?
In changing someone's life positively. When I see that impact, really make my day.
Does success come without sacrifices?
If you consider them a sacrifice, then you're not in the right direction.
A lot of people talk about work-life balance.
Well, I look at it as a life-work balance.
Okay.
Live your life throughout your days.
Yeah.
And this is what we've been given by the Creator. He gave us life in order to build this earth. Now, how do we do it? By living our work, by living with our family, by living.
Yeah.
So it's life comes first.
Do you believe in unconditional love?
Everything in life has a condition.
Yeah. Does love have a condition?
Only to God, it's unconditional.
Yeah.
Other than that, it is conditional.
Family?
Even family.
What's the condition?
The condition is that they need to really digest your love, understand your love, and act on it.
Yeah.
They don't have to love me back, but they understand it at least.
Yeah. They have to digest it.
Digest it.
Yeah. I believe in manifesting things. and over here the team you're seeing in the Zoom right now has manifested something for you. This is what we have manifested for you. Just open this.
Business Machinery, Hani Masgidi wins prestigious Business Coach of the Year award. Amazing, thank you so much.
So we believe what you always wanted to do, the world helps you to achieve it together.
Yes.
And you always wanted to impact 1,000,000 lives.
Yes.
The first time you shared this objective, and you've been very consistent in sharing this loudly to the universe, that I cannot reach 1,000,000 people, but I can create 1,000 teachers
Exactly.
who can reach to another 1,000 kids.
Exactly.
And they can actually impact 1,000,000 lives. So this is a little manifestation by us. We hope one day it comes true.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Pankaj and the team. Honestly, it touched me a lot.
And with this, we end today's episode. An episode full of so many insights about YouTube, about social media, but more importantly, about life in general. Share this episode with somebody who's just starting his journey as a content creator so that they can connect with the idea of finding their niche and sharing value to their audience.